Okay, so we're back for test number 2. What I have done is I've installed the Australian update into the sim. First of all, let me change the FPS monitor from left to right just to show you. Anybody that's using InVideo, some of you might know that you can do this. You go down near the time and date. Under in video, you right click, you should have an experience, GeForce experience. You open that up, click on the little symbol. You can go to performance. In here, you have all your little widgets that show you the different performance. Go to advanced. At the moment, I've got the widgets all on the left hand side. I'm going to switch them to the right hand side. You got different options down here if you want to switch it off. I have it on advanced. Go back, close that off, close it down. So now you see it on the right hand side. So that's how you get the FPS and everything on in game. The only issue is that you have to have it in window version, because if I try to do full window, you won't see it when I'm recording. So what we're going to do now is, what I've done is I've installed, let me go back, go to Content Manager, so installed, you can see if I scroll down, yeah, it's there right in front of me. Installed the World Update for Australia. Otherwise I haven't installed any of the others yet. So I haven't done any of the other World Updates yet. So let's go back. I need to change the time. Back down to Melbourne. And just go to the end of the runway in Essendon. Again, the upgrade of the PC has improved the load times a lot on the sim for me. Just jump in here. As I said, still bog standard. Okay, weird looking house at the end of the runway. Bog standard install of Windows. This time I've updated the Australian World Update. My community folder has got nothing in it, totally clean. Frightened me there for a minute. I seen 19 frames per second, but okay. Let's jump out for a second. Have a look around. I'm still getting the 50s. Let's just jump to the drone for a second. I don't think that World Update Australia done anything to Essendon Airport. It might have improved it a little bit. Well, I can't even actually remember whether those were there when I had the World Update installed, but okay, it looks pretty much the same. Looks pretty much the same, I think. So okay, so I've installed the World Update, Australian World Update. So we're going to take a quick fly into the city again and back out. I can't see any differences at the minute. We might just take a straight flight into the city. Then I'll try and install the Orbix City Update, Melbourne City Update, and the Orbix Essendon Update. See whether that affects the FPS. At the moment, it's not affecting FPS at all. It's still running at 60 nearly. Anyway, let's take off here and see. Okay, my stick was all the way forward, so that's not going to help. You can see this is pretty stable when it takes off. Must admit, I did get a good deal on a Warthog a few days before Christmas, so that has really helped with the helicopter flying, with any of the flying. So much so that that's the only stick I'm using at the moment. Again, FPS are not really moving, they're up in the high 50s. Just turn that down a little. I'm seeing a lot more house greenery down there with the update, the World Update. Feels like a lot more trees. A whole lot more trees. This time I can actually see the Westgate Bridge off to the left there. A couple of more ships in the out in the bay. A lot more trees everywhere. Like the trees have just grown up overnight. We've got like it's an antenna area mast. Yep. I haven't touched any of the settings in the sim. They're all the same as the last trip we done around Melbourne. This time as we head down towards the port, we've got the Westgate Bridge. Feels a lot greener. Feels like a lot more houses, but maybe that's just me. But definitely, I can see the port in front of me. Yeah, that was missing from the last one, the Westgate. That was like a little tiny bridge on the default install for the Underworld update. I have something on. I'll just head over this way into the port. Yeah, you've got a lot more tanks and stuff in the port. Not quite sure what that is on top of the. I think that's the Science Works. Yeah, the Science Works is there. Okay. Not sure what that's meant to be. We've got a few oil tankers, toll. Actually, they're not oil tankers, are they? They're not. They're cargo ships. A lot more down here in the port. A lot more ships in here this time. Start our run up the arrow again. This time we'll fly over the Westgate Bridge. I'm not gonna try flying under it at the minute. Still constant top 50 FPS. Over the west gate we go. Now the only thing is, with the update, you got these odd looking buildings that look like it's World War II that have been destroyed. It's still on Ultra. I'm not quite sure why they come in like that. Same with the cranes in the port. It looks like no one's used them for 100 years. They're just overgrown. Let's head up the Ara over the Balti Bridge. There's the Balti Bridge, isn't it? You'll hear by the accent I'm not a local. I've been here 10 years, but so we're over that. The updates put in a lot more buildings. Oh, try not to crash into them. But as I say, sometimes it's put in weird bridges and stuff. So as we continue up here past the convention center, Bollywood side ship is there. Come over by the casino, Crown Casino. FPS is getting a hit, alright. It's down in the 40s. So it is affecting the FPS. Up past Flinders Street. We're down at 47. So the world update is affecting the FPS. And then again, I'm set it at ultra, so it can be expected, I guess. Down over the tennis. That's when they were reconstructing it. There's our MCG. This time it's not a flat object. Over here, it's MCG. They actually have the MCG in. This is the free version, the World Update by Asobo. We haven't put in the update for Orbex yet, but yeah. Sober Microsoft done a pretty good job. FPS is back up again, so let's just go. Let's take a flight over Cathedral here. Melbourne looking pretty good. Low 50 FPS, not too bad. Again, some of those buildings just look like they're being demolished. Anyway, we'll head back out to Essendon again. it's about 20-minute flight. Actually not 20 minutes, only a few minutes out to Essendon. We've done about a 20-minute flight. FPS gone back up again. You'll notice a lot more greenery. A lot more parks, football pitches, cricket ovals. Yeah, it's taking a bit of a hit on the FPS, but not all that much. It's worth it for the update, for all the extra little bits you can see on the ground. I know all those people out there that have got love flying airliners, big planes. They're gonna go, I don't care. I'm never that close to the ground, only when I'm landing. Yeah, but all of us who like flying helicopters in GA like to have a bit of objects on the ground and have it looking pretty much photorealistic as you can get. Just watching the FPS. Well, the FPS is in the 50s now. It's jumping between 50 and 58. But look at that, like, we've got the race course. Like all the scenery we've got, all the extra scenery. You can spot Essendon miles away compared to everything around it. Follow the highway all the way up to Essendon. The update has improved a lot. World update has really improved it. For not really any loss in FPS. I'm still up to 50s, 60s. So the world update doesn't really affect it. So now watch as I try and land this again. Landing isn't my really good skill in the helicopters yet. It's getting better the more practice. Okay, I think we're going under speed again as usual. So let's just bring it in here and try and land it roughly where we took off, if I can. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough landing, I think. You'll have to stick with me. We're all over the place here. Okay, so I need to level it out. Okay, so let's bring it down, I think. Roughly, try and land it where we took it off. But yeah, FPS with the update, pretty good. Just get it around here. Really gonna just try and land it. Okay, let's bring it back. Try not to crash into something. Try not to come down too quick. I'm gonna need to practice my landings a lot more. I really am. I'm okay until I get to the ground, and this is gonna be a hard landing. Yep. Oh. Okay, we're on the ground. But yeah, that test seems to prove that World Update doesn't seem to affect FPS. Just a few frames. Down at 56 now. So you're losing a few frames per second, but you're getting a lot more ground buildings. Okay, so next test I guess need to do is install the Melbourne update, the Orbex one. See whether that has any effect on the FPS. But for now, thanks for checking in to see our FPS test. Catch you in a little while.